Welcome to my channel for Evolved Humans. I am Ms. Day. This is a collective reading. Right away, I heard the song by Johnny Cash. I don't know if he was like the original singer, I don't know, but I know that when he was older, he recorded the song Hurt, and I was hearing like, I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. I think the needle, something, the only thing that's real, the pain. And it's like, I felt that right away. That almost felt like, I feel like there's a masculine that's really holding themselves, and maybe this is just the masculine within you, whether you're female or male, but it's like something's really, really accountable to too far. To a point of, I heard the word, I don't know what the word, is the word purgatory, right? Where like, it's almost like someone's being held. I feel like someone's holding themselves in a mental prison due to accountability, due to hyper awareness of their own faults from the past, maybe a past version of themselves. At the same time, I feel like I also got this immediate feeling of like a huge feminine that felt, and that one felt like it got deep quick. This huge wave of feminine energy in the beginning, right alongside that Hurt song, where I feel like I got a feeling of someone who is overwhelmed and also kind of holding themselves in a mental prison, but I don't think you know you're doing it. This is like two different groups of the same frequency here, feeling the same vibes right now. But it's for different reasons. So this huge wave of feminine, it's almost like some of you are so in tune with your vehicle that you need to know. Excuse me. One moment. Okay. So I feel like someone needs to know that your spiritual awakening, this is a part of it. Where do you wake up every day and you feel like you just can't find that happy vibration, but you had it? Like you figured out your knack again, how to be happy and feel happy waking up in the morning or each day whenever you start your day. I feel like you are of a sound mind, and yet you're feeling this heavy weight of accountability and negative outlook. It feels like a really heavy weight of a negative perspective. And for some of you, it's like I just feel like you're holding yourself in purgatory, which I do not know if that's the right word, but that's what I was hearing. Where it's like you're putting yourself through this period of time where you think you have to carry the past in the forefront of your walk and pay for a while yet. Or maybe you need to. Maybe that's a part of your healing. But it seems like both groups that I felt, it's like there's the same need. It felt pretty clear, pretty quick, that there's a very strong shove over of feminine over the masculine. So the masculine is aware, but the feminine is actually running the show internally here. So this is where it can be kind of hard to stabilize when you're opening up. When you're opening up to all of the different levels of energy, it can be hard to just find your place, to just level out and be like, where do I sit? Crazy. That ties into something that I was speaking with someone about recently, which is that when you are sensing energies, this is just a little tidbit, when you're sensing energies, you can feel all over the place all of the time. You can feel all over the place all of the time in the same way as like a mom feels all over the place, or the worker at work that does all the work feels all the time. When you're hyper aware of all the things that need to be done and all of the needs and all of the ways to make it efficiently so, and fulfilled and finished and accomplished. And yet, when we don't take that step back to kind of re-level and establish ourselves amidst all of this noise and all of the actions that we have to be taking constantly. It's like sometimes we lose track of what vibe is running the show because we don't stop. So underneath, this reading feels like super strong emotional force. Like this feels like someone is, I feel like I can't get out of my head that some masculine, I think that you recognize, I think the weight of your accountability, whoever you are, whatever this is that's super rational and accountable, it brought you into a new chapter of your life. This is 3 to 6 months for some of you. This is the last 3 years for some of you. And I feel so much like you need to recognize, okay, so part of you, there's a big group in here, and I feel like the message for someone in here is that you're feeling a heavy weight that's it's a heavy pull downward in a negative emotional type of way. And that's because you've been evolving spiritually. You've been asking to grow. You've been working at becoming better at being a light worker and being sort of a medium for other people to heal through. And I think some of you do that at work, and I think you've brought it to work more, which is really cool. I can picture some of you right now. So there's like this huge energy of like not quitting in here. I think some of you got over a rough hump where it's like you could have quit quite easily. And so I feel like this heavy weight of accountability, for some of you, this is a part of your awakening. This is a part of your new experience where you're hyper aware of other people's experiences. So think about that. Yes, this is why I'm picturing people at work and taking that ability to work with you, in whatever aspect that can be. So just think about that, like waking up and being like, okay, I feel good about my life. I've gotten myself balanced out. I've gotten my hormones well. I've got a good sleep schedule. And yet sometimes you're still like, God, I just feel heavy and weighed down. Like there's something I'm not being accountable for, but I don't know what it is. And I feel like you're sensing other people. Not all of you, but certainly some of you. Huge group here. This is a part of your awakening. When you can't raise your own attitude, you can, but it's going to take a stronger sense of authority than it did before, because now weird. Okay, so you know that kids movie Hercules? I just pictured. This is like half creepy, but kind of, okay, so this is kind of fun. So Hades in that movie? Okay, the god of the underworld. So just picture, I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, but just like he's in the underworld and he's all like, god of the underworld. So he's like, I'm good in my little stone-like place, no color, no life, literally. And then at the end of the movie, someone like shoves him in to this like swirling downward pool of dead souls that he was happy to just like clip their life away and shove them into this downward spiraling pool for eternity. But at the end of the movie, it's like he gets shoved in and they're like, oh, like they're all pulling on him. That's what I feel like. You have to get solid footing. This is when people say you need to get grounded. It's because when you open up to the sea of energy, the energy's strong. You are the one who has to decide what to do with it. So it's like when you start sensing other people's energies, you might be thinking, oh my gosh, what am I dealing with now? What do I need to fix now? I thought I had myself hydrated. Maybe you do. This is where that happens to me. And like, I do certain neck stretches every single day. I do certain like physical motions every single day to alleviate pain in my back and my neck and my shoulders. And so Or like my knees, I have to, because I have arthritis in my knees. If I don't do certain yoga motions regularly, then the pain comes back. So this is where you have to get grounded in a foundation. And that's what I mean. My foundation, like daily, I'll alleviate the pains that other people might be experiencing, because then when I sense them, it's almost like a checklist, like almost like filling in the blanks in a video game, or like, I don't know why I say video game, but that's kind of what I picture sometimes, where maybe that applies to someone in here. Some of you, I don't know. But it's like when you start to experience the sensations coming in, like say I have a reading, then I might have really intense neck pain, or my knee just may feel like, oh my gosh, it hurts so bad when I'm on the stairs. And it's like, I know to take note of that, or be like, okay, I think that ties into this upcoming reading. Yeah. And then once I tie my awareness to it and I emotionally accept who it belongs to, that's in a way that's like moving it through. It's like, all right, check that box, on to the next. What's the next sensation I'm going to experience? And then I might start singing different songs because I've got weird song lines coming to my head that apply to the reading for the day. So definitely talking to people who are awakened, definitely talking to people who are mediums, and I'm in love with it. I think it's so fun. This is fun. What a cool job. And so I think that you, whoever you are, you're taking this work to your normal human job. And I think that's so cool. All right. Here's another thing. I think that you're confusing your own internal condition with that of another. I think you're just feeling a swarm come in, kind of like that end scene in Hercules where Hades is kind of being like pulled down. You uplift. So when you're in uplift, you'll sense the need for you wherever you go. So it's going to feel like a downward pull, and you have to be like, okay, well, I'm accountable for my own human experience. I'm willing to breathe and, go through my checklist. What is it that I'm experiencing? Who is it aligned with? Who can I deliver that to and get it out of my body, get it out of my vehicle? So I feel like someone has a heightened positivity. And it's really cute because there's an internal battle, but I feel like you're just kind of needing someone to give you the permission to be happy in your next phase. Okay. Whoo. So another song I heard in the beginning, and I had forgotten it, and I was actually kind of thankful because I was already embarrassed just to mention it, because like when I was little, everybody listened to all these country songs, and I just kept picturing, I think his name is Toby Keith, and he did this song, How Do You Like Me Now? And I was just picturing him in this huge, like, furry, bare-chested, like, huge furry coat with an opening and a funny little hat. And his video was just so ridiculous and goofy. So it was a silly vibe I got with this song. But I feel like someone in here, there's almost like a spark that some part of you, you're like, I'm back. You're like, I see you in there, to yourself. It's so cute. And I feel like this is actually like that little fire that feels childlike. It's fair because it's like that childlike fire. You found it. You uncovered it, which is beautiful. Because I keep thinking about that too. That someone that I love, that one of the things that she found comfort in when she lost a loved one was that she was worried about someone being stuck, in hell. This is what certain beliefs do to people. But one of the things that someone said that comforted her, which she had used in such a beautiful way, this is why I just admired it. I thought, damn, like that's some serious strength right there. Because this was a mother of someone who lost someone, okay? Lost a child. And one of the things that comforted her in her walk to this day, still, it does, is that she believes that God knows your heart. So like here we are in this physical life in the material world where we're like, we get stacked on experience, reaction. And it's like underneath the piles of crap, we're still under there. We're still the light. We're still the light, just excited to experience a world that we're born into. And it's like, we just kind of get that taken away from us because we're kind of, well, we're born into that type of world. So here's the thing. Someone is needing permission to allow that light to come forward, and it's not selfish, and it's not, oh my gosh, what is this feeling? There's a sense of duty that makes you happy, whoever you are. Whoever this entire reading is for, I think a sense of duty could do you well. Wow. I just pictured too, The Walking Dead, where I think Abraham, I haven't watched this is several seasons ago because I stopped watching several seasons ago. But in one of the earlier ones when Abraham had been introduced and it flashed back, and it's like what kept him going in a moment where he could have just let himself die and fought a bunch of zombies to death until he died, being overcome by a crowd, as would happen. What kept him able to move and be like, I guess I have a reason to survive, was this sense of having a mission to accomplish. In the end, it was a lie. But like in this case, it's so crazy because oh my gosh, I feel like whoever this reading is for, you have a mission you want to accomplish before you leave this life. For some of you, it's healing others. For some of you, it's integrating your healing abilities into work. For some of you, it's being a good parent. And I think that's what a lot of this emotional, this prison, this like feeling of purgatory, I think a lot of you are holding yourself so accountable, you don't think you have a right to be happy yet because of the unhappiness that you've created before this moment. So I think that you're being given permission to, one of the hardest lessons to teach, this is nuts. This is pretty heavy. Whoever you are, you've walked through some serious dirt. It's almost like you're afraid to let yourself. Wow. It's almost like you have thus far not allowed yourself ever to see yourself as someone who's deserving of praise. But there's a spark in there that's coming out. It's starting to show, and I feel like you're starting to realize, though, oh my gosh, it's like you've never given up, and I feel like what they're wanting you to realize is they've never given up on you. They've never given up on you either. You've never given up, and neither have they. There's loyalty right there. You don't need to find it somewhere else. You don't need it in a human. You need to accept it because you have it, and you've had it all along. And I feel like you have made things fair and just inside of your mind and your heart. So if someone's in need of that confirmation, you need to know that you're being heard. And I feel like what they're saying is, yes, oh my gosh, you are forgiven. Yes. Now, here's the thing I was like hesitating to say because it's so heavy. Forgiving yourself when you hurt another person can be harder than forgiving someone for hurting you. We know that. That's why beautiful children are little angels, and they just forgive everything so quickly because they just love so fully. So it's like, they're like, oh, you're sorry, you didn't mean it. I knew it all along. They just always see your light. And it's like, your guides see your light. And I feel like they're trying to tell you, like, you never quit, and neither did we. We never quit on you. We knew you were in there all along. Someone needs to know that. Someone needs to know that you've never been viewed as a failure by your guides, and you know, in your human, you know that you have viewed you as a failure at certain points in the past. And they're saying you're allowed to step out of that. Yes, you have paid enough. And that's why some of you are sensing more weight. It's not because you're encountering something more you have to work out on your own. It's more so like, what's this triggering? Because you can help someone else with the things that you're remembering healing from yourself. Sometimes you feel the deepest, darkest pit in the places that you've been because you're the only one who can help someone else out of it. There's a reason. When you heal from the depths of it, then when you want to help other people heal, guess what you're going to help with? Deep, dark wounds. You're going to heal them from the depths. You're going to help show them how to heal themselves, I mean. So, just to continue, I feel like it's really important that someone knows that the way that you actually do experience emotions, you're leveled out, like you've stabilized. For whatever reason that you keep doubting yourself, I feel there is this feeling like you have this solidly clear connection to your side here. This is not everyone. This is going to be for this huge group that I said was experiencing other people's emotions in their spiritual awakening. This is for you because someone's experiencing a very clear opening here with all the information. And yet there's something inside where it's almost like you're waiting for someone to say, yes, it's your turn. Now it's your turn. And I feel like you have got to see your emotions. Let yourself be grateful that you're not alone. Let yourself be grateful for the ability to feel happiness, even in little moments. Like, this is a huge deal. And I feel like you need that permission. Some of you need to be given that permission, which is extremely sad. That's very sad about your walk. But they're really happy that you're seeing what you can do. Like, this is really cool reading. So that sense of duty that I was talking about, it's weird because it's like, I feel like you have this connection to others. Yeah, you're super, 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 like the word empathy just is your definition, I feel. I feel like you know what others are feeling, and I feel like it's becoming overwhelming, and this may freak you out. Wow, okay. I don't know if you've ever seen the show Evil. It's a tad absurd, but I love it. I really enjoyed it when it came out. So it just makes me think of this one scene in it where this woman's mother is working somewhere where there's like a demon, like a demonic force, and it's kind of disguised due to the perception of the common folk. And then there are certain top-notch employees that are able to see this demonic being for what they truly are and not this, smooth, professional looking, clean person that doesn't smell awful. So there's this scene that I just keep thinking of where it's like she leaves the office after this mother, this grandmother, awesome woman, professional. She's nuts. Don't listen to me saying she's awesome. Don't think I'm weird. Okay. So anyway, she sees this demonic being, her boss, in true form for the first time. And she plays it cool because she's smooth like that. Like a lot of you can be and have had to be to stay under the radar, I think. And she experiences his true form. And then she leaves the office and she's kind of walking in this surreal state where she's like, am I insane? Am I losing my mind? And then she goes into this side office and she asks someone who she knows will tell it to her straight, even if it's in an annoying manner, she knows she'll get it. She'll get the straight scoop out of this little lizard dude, this guy. And she starts to look like she's going to have an emotional breakdown. Where she's like, how many eyes does he have to you? Because this creature has 6 eyes. And before today, she had only seen 2. So her perception has been totally changed due to just a new awareness, experience. So, an acceptance, lots of stuff. But anyway, so she's overwhelmed. This is an evil, demonic boss that this person is willingly serving. So it's not like she was crying in a beautiful, sweet, heartbreaking way. It was more so terror that she had lost her mind. That was scarier to her than seeing a demonic thing. And I'm saying that because whoever you are, I think that you have removed so many of those little clouds that you carried for so long, and you thought that you had to, and I feel like something made you start stripping them away. And they're saying, yeah, you need to see you now. Your light, it's going to look happier, and that's okay. And other people may not know what to do with that, especially if they're not happier. And that's what I feel like someone needs to hear. You need to know this, that you are allowed to start appearing happier to those around you, even if you still feel guilt from your past actions. Like, it doesn't mean you're forgetting your own truths. It doesn't mean you're no longer accountable. You don't need to feel bad for experiencing good things. Yes, you've worked for them. You've worked for this. That's what that's all we can do. That's the best we can do. And I also feel like, be fair to yourself. That's what this feels like. It feels like such a strong, like, be fair to you. This huge feminine wave, I think your emotions are so accepted and flowing because you accept others' emotions that I feel like it can feel overpowering in that same way of that show where it's like, what's happening to me? And what I feel like they're trying to give you is a sense of duty. Like, there's a reason that you have healed. You're going to help other people. You're going to help other people out of the dark. And guess what leads you out of the dark? Light. So don't feel bad for a moment. Don't feel awkward. Don't feel like, just because this is unfamiliar, don't feel undeserving of a new chapter where you forgive yourself. You forgive yourself. I feel like they're trying to say, you didn't give up on you. You didn't give up on the journey forward, right? And it was for all the right reasons. That's how you got here today. That's why you've opened up that ability to feel happiness inside again, because inside has done the work, hasn't it? Mm-hmm. And I feel like they're saying, we didn't give up on you either. And you forgive yourself because they already do. Like, you are forgivable. When you are, oh my gosh, okay. So I just keep getting this feeling too about, like, one of the things with the hardest thing with experiencing like past loved ones that you know is when they have a hard time forgiving themselves for hurting you. But just consider the fact that it's an interaction. So whatever experience you're having with them and whatever experience they're having with you, they're going to have to accept themselves going into a next level. And that's what you need to do here. You need to be able to do that. It's a lot harder without a human vehicle. And if you're in this human vehicle and you're still alive, you're not done. You're allowed to seek happiness. Even if you've made mistakes. Even if you weren't always such a forgivable person. I feel like your guides are saying, we always knew you were going to get here. That's a beautiful thing. You know, sometimes this is funky, but it's coming in. two things. One song just keeps coming into my head, and it's so cute. I don't know who sings it, but it's like, you're free of the demons in your head, and you can be king again. I'm not sure who that's by. I'll figure it out. But it's like, years ago, when my dad and we were aware of each other, but the interaction, there was some dark stuff in the way when he was passed, because when he was living, there was dark stuff in the way of our interaction. So when he died, it was another form of him, but the information was true. It was still the same truth. So that's where we had to start. We had to start there in order to continue our relationship going forward. And so here's the thing. Time gives you extra opportunities to alter things that maybe don't look like they're ever going to make sense in the future. But we all work together. So oftentimes it's like we're all trying to heal those wounds together. So there are ways that I feel that our dead get to communicate and interact with us in the ways that they get to heal the wounds, should we be so willing to allow those wounds to heal. And if we can do that, then our interaction can move forward into the same time and place we're experiencing right now. And that means someone who stopped experiencing life gets to have a new moment with you here and now in your life. Like, that's a crazy cool gift. And I feel like the reason I'm saying that is because of this interaction. That is the best reason to forgive yourself. Because the dead, like, just good God, like, I've never experienced any conscious, like, type of entity that was turned away from the light. They may not have looked at the light themselves intentionally, willingly, but the light would never not come. It's never not there. So you may feel guilt, but it's like when you're in human form, walking with that guilt beyond a certain degree, it's like you've evolved who you are because you saw that that was not the light, that you were producing a frequency you didn't want to be responsible for, but you were. That accountability is starting where you left off. So you have time alive. And it's like, I feel like they're trying to tell you, we knew you'd get here. Look at what you did in this amount of time. They're like, now look at what you can do. And they're trying to tell you to use that speed. Let it speed up. Let it take you over. I feel like you need to allow your spiritual awakening to feel real. You're not crazy. And also allow for yourself to sort your own emotions out maybe at the beginning of your day. I feel like someone needs to sort your own emotions out, jot them down at the beginning or the end of your day, whatever you think is easiest, whatever is the best for you to run efficiently. We're all different. So also, I think that you need to recognize that the fact that you didn't quit and that they didn't quit on you is because that's the interaction that you have. So they're like, yeah, you keep going and we'll keep going. So when you're stopped and it's due to you thinking you have to continue to pay, they're basically lingering and waiting for you. They're like, right, but I thought we were going this. Are we going to go? Are we going yet? Can we go now? So you're just being given permission. For whatever reason, I feel like you feel the need to be given that. Not everybody, but some of you. Some of you need to be given the right to feel good about your sense of duty going forward in being different too. You're allowed to feel good about the values that you've newly established. Some of you need to know that. That's that masculine feeling in here, I think, where you need to know that you're allowed to establish your own steps. And that you're not going the same direction this time. Trust it. You have definitely grown in mind and maturity. Oof. Okay, so this is kind of a few different waves in here. So I'm going to end it at this. I hope you have a really good rest of your day. I will see you in the next reading. Subscribe if these resonate. Definitely let me know. I love to know when they resonate with you. And thanks for being a subscriber if you already are one. And I'll see you guys soon. All right, bye.